finna get your ass the game, man. You know I break it down. Come on, man, you know it's Bain. Hey, y'all know who it is.
Damn, you tweaking on the
Bain. Hey, yo, this feel like you creeping to the charts. You know I'm about to break it down about that SNR. Bain, what you talking about, support and resistance? Oh yeah, I wanna know, go ahead, bro, I'm listening. Alright, support is the floor, resistance is the ceiling. Call it trading in the zone, and it's how you make a killing. Find your high and your low from a swing or a zone. Don't turn this thing off, we about to get it on. See, once you find a swing, yeah, it's shaped like a V. Draw a line at the bottom, that's support, home team. Then you just flip it so the V look like an A. Put a line at the top, now that's resistance, okay? Damn. Okay, now let's get it cracking. All them candles you see moving, yeah, we call that price action. So when a candle reach support, then we look to buy if it made a high low, so we can catch the high. Let me write this down. Boy, I'm high. Off life, cause it feels so damn good just to help you get it right. So peak, when we looking for a sell, we looking for resistance like you about to go to jail. Yeah, you caught it. Yeah, I did. And I knew it, cause we ain't missing nothing. No, yeah, we getting to it. Turning smiles from a frown. If you still rocking with me, say bang, break it down. Hey. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Then this shit gas. I don't know how you do it, how you take this Forex shit, bruh, and put it in the music. I don't know either, but that's alright, cause that boy helped me made a few bands in one night. Yeah, he did. Well, that's lit. Been go ahead, continue selling from resistance. Once it hit the top, we wait for it to drop. Yeah, they call it confirmation, I just call it trading smart. Oh shit, man, there he go again. Breaking shit down, I just wanna see you win. I know Forex make you nervous like you about to go to court. So yeah, if you feeling down, I hold you up like I'm support. Oh, what a sport. Yeah, that's me, you ain't trading by yourself, homeboy, you with the team. So you know what it is, I just broke it down. Support and resistance. Hey. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Hell yeah, man, let's get it. BBIDF, man. Come on.
Good ghosts in the building. All right, fellas, we'll get right to it. We in the stretch. All right, Martez, I know you taking a little hiatus, but you know those setups, you know they still setting up. So you know you can take something if you want something. But I'm liking some pound pairs this week, as well as the indices for sure. And you know, should be a Santa rally supposedly, right? But you know, I don't get too much into all of that, right? I let the charts tell me, you know, what's popping. So just know, you know, if you happen to put your shirt on and feel like looking at the chart, you might have a nice opportunity, my boy. All right, but let's get to it, man. Ghost is always usually first. This time, Martez, you got to take it away. All right, we are on Euro Pound on the 1 minute. What you doing?
Hey, first, you funny as hell. No. Oh shit. What pair is this?
Euro Pound. And this is a heavy pair, actually. I mean, I guess I don't usually call it enough for you guys, but you know, it's one that I definitely look at from time to time to try to get a good, you know, good amount of pips off of.
Okay. I just want to see something real quick. How just a minute time frame from the high to the low?
This is the minute time frame. Now, go ahead, say it again.
I want to know how many pips. I'm just trying to see how many pips it's around in this. Yeah, from the highest point to the lowest point in this picture right here, in this right here.
Date range. So I think it's price range that gives it to me. That looks like 9 pips.
And how long did that take?
And I think that's what this one does. 3 hours.
All right. Go to the weekly.
All right, here we go. What do you see?
Price possibly turning bullish. Yeah, I think so, because these previous lows, which create like a downward channel, that got swept with bullish engulfing, closing above all of those highs. Then it created a higher low from its last swing on that move up. So I think bullish. Yeah, and I think it's confirmed bullish actually. So yeah, mark that up for me. Mark the latest swing low, like a horizontal ray. Yeah. And go to the daily. Let me see something. Yeah, bullish, bro. Inverse head and shoulders right there.
Okay, I see it
on the daily, so it's strong. I do see a lot of imbalance still coming out, so I think price is going to fall into that. And it looks like it might be an order block on the lower time frames at the neck of the right shoulder. Yeah. So I would mark that up on the daily. Yeah. And since the demand level is sitting right behind that everybody got, I'll just leave that area alone because I know it's probably most likely going to hit. And then go to the 12-hour. Oh yeah, I would buy, but I would wait until it hits that demand level.
All right, you want to just play it out right here on the 12-hour to see if it does it?
Yeah, you can play it on 12-hour.
All right, here we go. Okay, so far hasn't gotten there. Do you still want to play it?
Yeah, because
All right.
Yeah. It could just reverse from where it's at.
All right, so it's taking the high.
Yeah.
Over here. So,
yeah.
And I just want to point out that this is a valuable lesson of why, like, you can be right and wrong. You understand what I'm saying with that?
I know exactly.
Yeah. So these are those type of setups that, even though like it was like right here is where it was, and then no, it was like let me see, because it started to so somewhere in this area over here, and then it started to do this, and then it started pushing up, and then it just kept pushing up. But like right at this area, you kind of had that little tap into the little fair value gap right here, right? It took off, but I'm with you because it was high, and the gap and the demand was at this area. So what I was expecting is the same, right? For it to sweep this high like it did here, and then come on down and tap into demand. But all I'm getting at is that sometimes you'll not get that, right? You'll not get that retracement to those key areas that you want. So anytime you kind of see any little bit of a structure, right, and any kind of higher low and buying, sometimes you can take that with a really tight stop, right? But that's not how we really want to just go about it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to just keep taking those little chances here and there. We definitely want to stick to our guns, because that consistency is what helps you really understand whether or not you are doing good or not, and if you really understand like what's going on with price action. So I'm glad you did not chase, right, what was going on, but at the same token, you missed out on what you already knew was going to happen. You get it? So now you got to reevaluate and see how you want to kind of go about this now.
Okay, I definitely don't want to buy because it's just swept the high. So and then it's a 12-hour, so it looks like it hit another like an internal demand right there where the price is actually rejecting from right now. So
decisions.
No.
Yeah.
The only thing I can see is to zoom out to see if there's another POI that's like close to make me think it'll still hit that before it goes down. But it's a risky buy. So I would zoom out to the daily again. Let's see. And there's nothing.
You sure?
Well, I mean, if you go to the left, like I think if you zoom out even more, yeah, and I mean, and then bring that swing high horizontal all the way over to the left. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. No, I think price probably a drop for a minute. So
you don't think it'll get this?
And it got it already on the second one or no?
No. Well, no. I wouldn't say it got it, but
No, I still don't think it, because what I've seen before is this is going to be the double top.
Oh, give me a second, fella. Sorry, I got to go get this delivery. Hold on. Back in business, guys. Getting ready to make some sweet potato fries, and man, I wish I could smell them. Things it's smelling like great money. It's actually truffle sweet potato fries, so I'm fancy like that.
Okay, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
Oh shit.
Hold on, right quick, Martin. Hey, Bain, can you see if he was trying to get in? I don't know. He was saying he was trying to get in.
I just let him in.
Oh, okay.
Well, I just accepted him when I came back just now, so he should be coming in like shortly.
Okay.
But if he doesn't show up in like the next minute, then just tell him to try it again. But he probably requested when I was out, but I saw it. Yeah, and I approved it. So I don't know if he might have just kind of been like, oh, I can't get in, and closed it. So just tell him to try it again, because he should have been in by now. Yeah. All right.
Appreciate it.
No worries. Go ahead, Marcus.
Oh yeah, no.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me say this. This is the exact same situation that you were in over here. Just FYI. So yeah, that's all I want to say. But go ahead. You got to make the executive decision with this, because we did sweep a high, like you mentioned, and this is an engulfing candle, but it just so happens to be one that's right into demand. So there you go.
All right. I think it's still, so what I think is generating, well, the double top is the first cycle in the liquidity that's creating. So I don't think it's going to take it out right away. I think it's generating it, and then it's going to drop and then come back up to take it out.
Key, very key.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely.
I like how you put that, because that is the name of the game. You got to engineer it and then you go get it. So yeah.
So I'm gonna still wait for the drop, but if it goes higher than that again, then I guess you can look for continuation buys because it's bullish. But I'm just looking to get in at the best price.
I get what you're saying. All right, so let's play it right now. Do you want to wait? You want to play it out and wait for your buying opportunity, for you want to see it drop more, or do you want to try to take advantage of the drop?
I mean, taking advantage of the drop is not a bad idea, but I don't like going against the trend, bro, because I don't know how far it's gonna fall back, fall down.
And on top of that, do you have what you need to sell? Right? You know what I mean? Most important part. Everybody forgets about. You can't go with the emotional part of it. You have to have something that's telling you to do what you're doing, right? And if you don't have it, then chances are it's not going to play out in favor. But it's your world, man. You know what I mean? This is to mimic, what you would do in a real life, a real life scenario, right? If you will. So, I try to, have you guys do this as much as possible, because it's the pressure, right? It's the moments, right? It's the heat of the battle and everything else in between that you deal with when the markets are really live. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get that before the markets are live, you go in there ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I've seen this, I've done this, I know how to regulate my emotions, because, I know you guys did last time, you gave me this kind of situation. So, yeah, let's just keep moving and grooving, see how you play it.
Yes, sir. Play it out, and I'm gonna wait for it to fall some more.
All right, here we go. All right, let me know when to stop.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Looks like somewhat of a retest, but I'll be quiet. It's your show. Oh, here we go.
So now you could take it for a sell, but I would I'm still just gonna. Well, I mean, I know it's going down, so might as well.
All right. So I'm gonna quiz you. What do you have to tell you to sell?
Another double top.
This is valid now.
Yeah, so that's valid. So I created another double top, or I guess a break and retest a trend line, kind of both. And then the neckline it broke with a close below, and it retested. So retested into the area that it broke out of. It didn't hit supply, but I don't think it's gonna hit it, because that's where the generated liquidity is. So it's not. That's the first one. So I think it's just gonna go down first and then kind of take that.
All right. So are we selling right now, or what?
I mean, if this was real and this is daily, yeah, I would sell, bro. I would sell it. Yeah, I would sell it.
All right, right here, right now.
Go on the 12-hour again for me to confirm. Because how many pips is that from where price is to the top to behind those double top?
135.
135?
Yep.
Oh no. I don't know. The break look clean though. Like, let me see. Yeah, the break is clean. Oh no.
Remember what you were looking for when price was right here?
Yeah. Kind of doing that.
That's all.
Oh shit. And price is bullish, so it makes more sense to buy. But I don't know, bro. Damn, I shouldn't have went down. I should have just stayed on the higher time frame.
let me go back to the daily. All right, maybe that'll.
That looks more convincing to me. Then let me see the RSI on that, if you got it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So that looks okay. Yeah, that looks better to me. Like for a second.
Right. So let me know when to pull the trigger, or if you want to play out some more candles.
I don't know, because I couldn't. Oh shit! All right, let's do it. Okay, I would do it. I would still do it. But I wouldn't go no 135 pin stop loss. I'm just taking it above the high that it created, and it's a daily high, so it's a strong high. So I'll lose it. I ain't mad at it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Where you want to stop?
The stop, you can put it in the middle of that first FVG above the.
Right here.
Yeah, that's where I would put it, and then I would take the TP down to the bottom of the man, like all the way to the bottom of it.
All right.
Like,
all right.
Yeah.
So 1 to 10, how you feel?
On the daily, it's like a 10, but the lower time frame is getting me, bro. Like I said like 8.
Okay. Martez, what do you think? Think he's gonna win or lose it?
I think I'm gonna win it.
Oh, I'm tripping. Goes, my bad. I'm thinking it goes something, but I'm saying yeah. Go ahead, Goes. What do you think?
I think he gonna lose it, because I think even though it's 135 pips from those equal highs, I think he want to go back and get it just before it dropped.
You know, man, you on the money today, bro. Remember when you said, hey, it took out this high, right? And you asked, did it take out this one? And I was like, not quite, right? You know what I mean? And for them to be in that close of a vicinity, right? And we only just kind of take out this one and not that one. You know what I mean? We kind of engineered that liquidity one more time. So I'm with Ghost on this one, bro. I kind of feel like you're going to get especially with price at least getting halfway into that fair value gap, because yeah, we did get the change right here, and then we got right into supply. That was nice. We got the engulfing, that's nice, and then we broke it again, right? But now, since we had this new break, right, this became our new supply, right, and our new FEG. So I do kind of feel like it's going to push up, take you out, possibly sweep the double top in that previous swing high, and then it'll come and do the dance. So we're gonna see, because this is it's in the mix, right? It has an engulfing candle here, and it's opening and closing lower right now, so it can just drop, right, and then eventually go back and get everything that's up here. So it's rough, and we're mainly catching the pullback on this drop anyway. You know what I mean? So it's not with the trend, but it doesn't mean you can't win. So we're just gonna let it play and see what it is. All right, but 5, 4, 3, 2, boom, and it got you right.
Damn.
Right away in the FVG in that new supply area as well, and it rejected it nicely, bro. All right, so now watch it hit your TP probably, right, because it's still kind of like still mixing for the most part, but we'll see. Yeah, so got the double top, got that previous, and now, I guess that's where we at. Let me see. Yeah, that's where we are now. So now, right, that it has it, you can see the change in the character right here, and then you can also see the little bit of supply that it tapped into right there. All right, so now I think you're going to get what you need, or what you're looking for in terms of the drop, right? Just if we can get it below that trend line, that'll be lovely. But if that's going to happen, we might as well just sell it now and put the stop above, so it'll be something like this. Really, I would probably just kind of hit it like that and then bring it on down, really to take out the low is where I'll go in that instance, right? 1 to 6, 64 pips, 421 pips to the downside. And let's just clean this up a little bit, and we'll look at it from the higher time frame to see what's what.
Look, Martez, you was right. You stay with your gut, man. Like you said, you didn't want to trade that pullback because you didn't know how far it was gonna go or win.
You see, and man, let me this is what I be talking about, like how you feel, you know what I mean, when you kind of going against what you would normally do, right? This is where it always tests you when you're in replay mode. So it's whether, like, I'd be wanting to know how much you're going to stick to exactly what you would actually do versus knowing that you win replay mode. So it's kind of not, holding the same weight, if you will, right? Of when the market slide. But I think, Martez, I actually was looking for you to be like, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the buying opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think you were going to take the sell, right? I just thought you were going to see, that's when I was like, are you going to take the sell, or are you going to wait to, see the sell, just kind of form and do its thing? And then we said you was going to take it. I was like, oh man, so you switched, right? And again, it happens, but you know what I mean? It's if it happens, if you do that enough, you're going to start feeling some type of way about yourself, because that's not what you would normally do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then that's when you kind of calibrate, go back to what you would normally do, and then all of a sudden everything starts to work out. You know what I'm saying? But that engineered double top, that previous swing that didn't get got, right? And then we came up here, did the dance, got the change, got the retest, and so now I think we're going to get a nice drop coming into the week on euro pound. Let's look at this from the weekly. All right, there it is. And yeah, right to that supply perfectly. See what I'm saying? So yeah, this time, and it's a nice rising channel. You get what I'm saying? And this is hugely formed on the weekly, so you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting a major drop on this. So what you try to get now is coming for the week, because everything has gotten taken care of in terms of buying. Now the way it looks from here, it still looks bullish, right? From right here, like it can still get up to here. Like I would prefer to sell it at the top of the channel. So if it gets up here, that'll be a better sell. But regardless, when you start going down to the lower time frame, you can start seeing the change, right? And the change is happening right over here, and then the four. And so hold on.
He right there.
Hold on. I think it's Martez, but what you say, Ghost?
No, my bad. I was out of my son.
Okay. All right. KCTV, what's good, man? Can you hear me okay? Are you able to talk? If you can't talk, go ahead and okay, I see you unmuted right now. If you're saying something, I can't hear you. Check your mic source.
You hear me?
There you go. Yeah, I hear you now.
It was good, man. So I dropped in from Ghost. I was just talking about, I just seen how y'all, do y'all trades and stuff like that. I normally trade like NASDAQ, like futures on the future side. I know a little bit about Forex. I've been doing it for like, I say 6 months, but I haven't really been back testing. I've been like live trading. Like I've been wanting to get the live feeling of price action, you know?
I'm with you. Now,
Yeah.
I got to ask, so 6 months, and did you do Forex at all, or did you just jump right into futures?
I jumped right into futures because I was like jumping between Discord. I used to trade with this dude. I don't know if you know his name was Mamba FX.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you ever, yeah, I used to be in his Discord.
How did you like it?
Recently, it was cool. Like, I used to live trade with him every morning. It was pretty straight. I kind of wanted to find a path of my own, you know, to try to see like where I can go, things like that.
I'm with you. And you know, the most important part, it doesn't matter if it's futures or Forex. It's all about what do you really understand.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm going to ask you that question. What do you feel like you understand when it comes to trading? Like if somebody says, you know, like, because you say I'm teaching, right? And I'm telling people about things, right? And I know what I know. But like if you were to teach somebody, what is something that you feel like you would be teaching them because you know it that good, or you feel like you know it that good?
Probably support resistance or try to find liquidity sweeps.
Okay.
I know a little bit about fair value gaps as well, but I feel like what my problem is when I set my TP and my stop loss, I don't use like equilibrium to like get confirmation of when to break even or keep my stop loss where is it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. That's something we can go over for sure. And I can give you some clarification on how to go about that. So support and resistance, you say, you know, FEGs, you know, and liquidity, you know, I'm gonna touch on those briefly also. And you just, you know, tell me, hey, yeah, I knew that, or, you know, I didn't really know that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
One of those things, what's your real name?
Rendell.
Rendell. All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So my name Bain, but
Hey, nice to meet you, bro.
likewise. So one of the main things that I pride myself on is making sure that whoever's rocking with me understands everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're trying to understand, like I want to make sure that you understand it, because you know how it goes. Once the light bulb comes on, then it's like eureka, right? It's like, oh shit, that's what I've been trying to figure out, and now I got, you know, now I can really go there and get in the market and get something. So with the 6 months that you've been doing futures, do you feel like you found any kind of ground that you're seeing consistent success, consistent profits, or like you feel like you're still kind of up and down, and you know it's not really solid just yet? Like you might have a few.
I say I'm still kind of up and down, you know. But I feel like it's part of the game when you win and lose some.
Absolutely. But you know the goal is, right? The goal is to minimize those L's,
Yeah.
right? You understand what I'm saying? So the more you can get an understanding of why you're losing or why you lost that trade, you understand? And that's what this back testing is all about as well, right? So when Martez goes back and he looks at this trade, he knows exactly why he lost this trade. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And the more you can figure that out, the more you can dodge it, right? And a lot of times when I'm breaking stuff down, you know, I'll use real life analogies. All right, let's say you got with Shorty, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know, you said you showed up late, right? And y'all supposed to go out, and she had a fit, right? She went off on you.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get ready, and you had me waiting, and whoop, right?
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I didn't know it was gonna be all that, right? So the next time y'all finna go out, you know what I'm saying? Are you finna be late? You get what I'm saying? Because you know how Shorty, you know, gonna go off, and it's that's what it is in the market too, bro. I don't care what it is that you trade, invest, whatever, right? It's all about learning from your mistakes. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not really learning from why you're taking these L's, then you're gonna keep taking L's. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you ain't feel it when she went off on you the first time, she's just gonna keep going off on you until you feel it. And you're gonna be like, okay, all right, I'm gonna show up on time now because she tripping. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, fast. Gotcha.
That's how this goes. So let's jump to, you know, a few, you know, those three things that you mentioned that, you know, right? Support and resistance, the FEG, and liquidity. And then what I want to talk about is you really having like some sort of plan, some sort of strategy. Like, do you feel like you have a strategy, or do you kind of feel like it switches from time to time depending on how you feel? Like, what's that like?
I try to have a lot doing a strategy, but it really depends on how the market is at the moment. Hold on 1 second. I have a notebook where I write down everything.
Absolutely. And that's something I encourage highly, right? To have something that you go by, right? You know, I can look at my stuff and I say, okay, do I have this? Yes or no? Okay, I got it. All right, what about the next thing? Do I have this? Yes or no? That's really how it goes. It's just like, do you have it? Do you not have it? Right? And the more that you have it, the more likely that trade should play out in your favor. You know, we can't control the market, but we can control what we do, right? So we keep you know, what we do consistent. You're going to find consistency. That's basically how that goes. You get what I'm saying? And you won't be mad with yourself, right? You won't be having all of these emotional roller coasters saying to yourself, man, I knew I should have did this. I knew I should have did that. You know, right? It's just going to be, I did exactly what I was supposed to do, and that just ain't work out. You know, that trade didn't work out, right? And that's how that's going to go. But yeah, go ahead, what you got?
So before I enter my trade, I try to look at the news and see what's going on, because it's certain, like I go on Forex. I don't know if y'all been saying Forex Factory.
Yeah.
And I try to like avoid like red folders and stuff like that, just to see what's going on, because you know I won't want to take that risk while like we got FMOC, PMI, things like that. So I try to avoid those type of stuff. And
That's
then
good.
what I do is I'll scale down to the higher time frames, because I don't know if you swing or you scalp trade.
I do it all. Swing, day trade, and scalp. It just depends on the setup. And that's another little thing that you probably, you mentioned something about, when you take your position, you don't really know when to move your stop loss, or, just kind of how to manage the trade, to, lock in profits or let it ride out to have it go hit your TP or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And to be honest, one of the main things that's going to help you is just looking at where your targets are. Like if you're aiming for the closest target, whether it's, like if you're buying and you're aiming for a high, or if you're selling and you're aiming for a low, what you're going to notice is that it's going to work. It's going to get to that high, and it's going to get to that low. But if you are constantly, feeling some type of way because it's taking time to do it, right, then you ultimately end up taking yourself out of the trade, right? You'll close it, maybe you'll break even, maybe you'll put your stop loss in profit for a little bit, and then it'll take you out, and then it'll go in your favor, right? A lot of people have that dilemma or that problem, if you will, and they never really get to see their trade hit their TP. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make money without the trade hitting your TP, but when your trade hits your TP, it gives you way more confidence and understanding that you know what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got to let that, like, you're new to me, right? You're not new to the market. But for somebody who's new to me, if you get under my wing, right? If I take you under my wing, I'm going to want you to take this week, come in, and I'm going to say, okay, what are you looking to trade, right? And then, what side of that, particular asset or pair you're looking to take, right? Okay, you say, okay, Bain, on what is it that you like to trade a lot? You said
NASDAQ.
Yeah, NASDAQ future. So and NAS, I'm looking for the buy this week, just FYI. So
it was kind of yeah.
So
for sure.
So for NAS, I'll be like, okay, you're gonna buy NAS, then I want you to, put your position on, right? And so here's, if you can see the screen, here's what I'm looking to do with NAS. I'm looking for it to push down, right? It might go a little deeper, it might come down, to this particular fair value gap, right? And I know so you mentioned about that, but I think we're going to get a dip, and the market's going to open in a little bit, 5-6 o'clock today. But I think we're going to get a push down, right? Possibly to here, and then rise up. We could even get it to sweep this low and then go. But ultimately, I'm just looking for a buy, right? So let's just say, price gets here, right, and it starts rejecting pretty nicely. I'm going to say to myself, let me get the position in, and my stop will be here, and my take profit will be here. But I'm going to let this bad boy ride out for however long it takes until it hits my TP or it hits my stop loss, period. And I'm telling you, that's something that's so hard for people to do because, the market has, it does what it does, right? It can do this and then go boom, 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 boom. It do all of this, right? It can do all of this nonsense. Come up here. Oh, I'm getting money. Oh, no, I'm losing money. Oh, boom, 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 right? So all of that stuff drives you crazy. And then you're like, no, what? Fuck this. I'm out of here, right? And next thing you know, kaboom, it goes through the mountain or, goes to the rooftop. And you just like, I knew it was going to do that. Why did I get out? What is it?
Like instant regret.
Yeah. So I want you to get out of that stage of regret by taking this week to have the toughest thing happen that you probably have never let happen before, for you to take it and let it ride out, and just let it ride out until that trade closes on its own, whether it's your take profit to hit or your stop loss to hit. Trust and believe me when I tell you, bro, whenever you do this, whenever you decide to do this, again, I'm not going to force you, right? You're a grown man, you do what you want to do, right? You get what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, if you want to eliminate the roller coaster of emotional, waves that you're going to go in by, constantly monitoring that trade and constantly trying to decide if you're going to move your stop loss or not and all of that good stuff, right? If you want to get rid of that, this is the way to go about it. You get what I'm saying? Because you have this happen 2 to 3 times, especially if it happens within a week, right? But you let this happen 2 to 3 times where you say, okay, the next 3 trades I take, I'm going to set them and forget them, and I'm going to see what happens. Bro, if all of them shits hit your take profit, I promise you, you will never want to alter another trade ever again in your life.
I try to set and forget as well, too.
You say what?
I be trying to set and forget sometimes, but then when I come back, like you said, and I see it go up and then come back down, I'll be like, I'll get out.
Yeah,
you're right. I gotta start like letting it sit longer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And again, that's not, I'm saying this, but I know it's not easy. I'm not gonna tell you to do nothing I haven't done. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that's not how I am. But I'm letting you know that once I did it, I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm the man. You feel me? Because I understand what price is supposed to do, but I didn't have enough patience to let it do it. You get what I'm saying? I got into my emotions. Fellas, we supposed to be good with our emotions. That's supposed to be for the ladies, right? You know what I'm saying? But we the market says shit, hold my beer, right? And it started getting us all in our emotion. But we got to get in control of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the best way to do it, bro. Not to talk your head off. It's just really the best way to do it. You got to take a dedicated week where you're saying, you know what? The most trades you want to really take anyways, like 3 trades. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's what I try to do, like 1 to 3.
Yeah, you're not going to get great setups every single week. You know what I mean? But sometimes, they all line up. But you know how it goes. It's just not the norm where you get these good setups all the time. So when you do get a good setup and it's looking good, bro, you can read the structure. Everything's clean. Everything's making sense. You got to let those ride, bro. You got to let them ride. And the moment you do that, you're going to hit go sell. You're going to hit me up. You're going to be like, yo, he was right. You was right. The price was doing all kind of whoop, it was dancing all around, but eventually it hit my TP just like I knew it was gonna do. And I'd be like, well, I told you.
This is a good setup right here. As you can see, like we got a higher high right here.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna get a lower, not a lower, like they call it lower low. We're gonna get like a lower high.
It's gonna be a higher low.
Higher low.
Yeah.
Higher low. Yeah.
So yeah, and this is a really good setup. The indices all together, NASDAQ, US 30, they all have this similar setup. If you haven't, give me a second. I'm gonna link you real quick to my watch list so you can see, my breakdown of exactly like what I'm looking for and what I'm looking at, and you can see if it lines up with what you see, you know what I mean, and then have some confidence with taking that kind of trade on it. All right, so I just popped it in the let me see. Oh, no, it didn't go. Hold on. But you already kind of seeing it for yourself, what the potential of what the hell is going on. All right, hold on a second. Let me get this right because I think it's acting funny. Okay, so all right, there we go. Finally. Shoot. All right, so it's in the chat. So if you can bring up the chat in this Google Meet application, you should see the link to my watch list for this video.
Yeah.
Right, so check that out, and it's all timestamped. So you can look at the description of the video, and you can click right to now. So you ain't got to watch the whole thing. But I recommend you watch the whole thing so you can see all the opportunities. But if you strictly on NAS, then you can just jump right to NAS and see what I'm saying about it. But it's all just right what I'm saying right now. I'm just expecting it to drop right out the gate, and it's going to get to one of these two areas, possibly even here. But like if I say if I made up my mind I'm only going to take it from here, then I can do a tight stop. So I'm not really losing a whole lot. You understand what I'm saying? And I can lose that, and then I can wait, and it gets here, and I'll take it again with another tight stop. I'm going to get one of these. You know what I'm saying? And if the lower I get it, the better it is. You know what I mean? But you just have to know how to really be set in what you said you were going to do, right? You again, bringing it to the real life. A woman's going to respect the man who does what he says he's going to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I'm gonna come do ABC, XYZ, and you don't do it. Well, guess what? She just lost respect for you just that fast. You understand what I'm saying? And it's probably the same shit, with a dude. You know what I mean? Like, no homo. I'm just saying, like, if your brother, uncle, whoever, like, or homeboy say, hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. You're like, all right, bet. And then they don't do it. You're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just feel some type of way about that. So, you got to carry that same kind of thing to the markets, bro. You got to be a man of your word to yourself, right? If you say, okay, I'm gonna take it like this, well, take it like that. You know what I'm saying? And see how that play out. Because that's where you get all your lessons from, bro. I got a song. You ain't get a song that I played today, but I also make Forex music. It goes into he can link you to some of the music and everything like that.
Okay.
But I got a song called L's Are for Lessons, and that's that's coming out. But basically, I'm killing two birds with one stone with that song. Basically, I'm saying I took L's in the market, but they were lessons, and I also took L's in real life, right? You understand what I'm saying? But they were lessons. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a double entendre or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? We're just kind of getting you guys to feel both sides of me taking L's, right? But I was only able to make this song because, I know what it felt like to see all of these L's just constantly coming. But why? Why am I taking this L? Why am I losing? Why? What's the whole reason for all of this? And then once you figure that out, oh boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I had to take that L so I could really learn what the fuck I was doing. I had to take that L so I could really see what I needed to see, bro. And that's just how this goes. You know what I mean? And again, I'm probably talking head up, but that's how this is. You feel me? So just take a look at it when you get a chance, and I promise you, by the time the week is over, bro, you're gonna see these indices push up, and you'll be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And like, futures pays, right? So they pay way more than just trading Nasdaq on regular Forex, right? If you trade Nasdaq futures, then you get in the bag, right? And this is 668 points, right? And you don't even need that much on futures.
I only do like 1 to 2s on my trades. I trade like 1 to 2, 1 to 3. There
you go, right? You know what I'm saying? Sticking to what you say you will do. Right, you can let down everybody in the world, but you let down yourself. That's a whole nother letdown. You get what I'm saying? So just keep it real with yourself, bro. Don't worry about nobody else what they doing. You know what I mean? Stick to what you say you want to do. But yeah, let's run on some of the things that you mentioned. And
so how do you you only like mark your fair value gaps on a 2-hour time frame?
I'm marking wherever they happen to show up. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a little rundown of me. It's gonna be quick, but again, take this time to absolutely ask whatever amount of questions you want to ask. There is no stupid question, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. All right. When you're trying to learn some shit, especially when you're trying to learn some shit that's gonna get you some money. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask every dumb question in the book that there is. All right. But I love when people ask questions. So just do that. But I'm giving you a high level overview of kind of how I go about things. But obviously there's little details to it that I'm not gonna get into because it'll take take a lot of time. But you have swing traders, right? You have day traders, right? And you have scalpers. Right, so let's see. Come on. Okay. Right. for the swing traders, right? When I swing, I look at the weekly time frame for my bias or for the trend. All right. For the trend, I look at the daily. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me get this back. Hold on. All right, my bad. I look at the monthly. All right, for the trend. I look at the weekly to confirm the trend. All right, and then I look at the daily to enter. So I'm looking for my entries on the daily. Right, that is my swing trading when I do that. For my day trading, right, on the for day trading where I'm trying to make money, you know, within a week. I mean, really within a day, but you know, I might let it just play out, you know, 2 or 3 days, something like that. But I'm looking at the daily, all right, for my trend, right? I'm looking at the 4-hour to confirm my trend, and then I'm looking at the 1-hour for my entries. All right. For scalping, I'm looking at the 1-hour for my trend. I'm looking at the 30-minute to confirm my trend. And then I'm looking at either the 15-minute, the 5-minute, or the 1-minute to enter. That's my overall, you know, picture right now. Obviously, if I'm, you know, each one of these goes into more detail because, you know, okay, if I'm swing trading, I find the trend is up, right? But then I go to the weekly and I'm seeing the market structure is not bullish, right? So I'm trying to confirm that we're still bullish, but I go to the weekly and it's showing me that it's bearish, right? So I'm not looking to sell because the higher time frame is telling me that we're up. So in a situation like that, I'm going to need to wait until the market shifts bullish for me to say, okay, now it's lining up with what I see on the monthly, which is bullish. You feel me? And then now after that, I go to the daily, look for my entries. I could have an entry off a demand area. I could have an entry off a trend line. I could have an entry off a fair value gap. I could have an entry off a Fibonacci level. I could have an entry off a pivot point, right? It's all kind of ways of me getting into that trade. So that's what I mean with, I'm talking about all the details that kind of goes in, you know, the mix of all of these. You get what I'm saying? So that's something, again, I don't mind getting into, but you know, you just got to show up and, you know, keep being in the mix and you'll find all that out. But this is ultimately how it is. So I know for myself, right, that I got a strategy. You understand what I'm saying? And I know when I'm following it, I know when I'm not following it. You get what I'm saying? So if I happen to lose a trade because I didn't follow my strategy, whose fault is that? You get what I'm saying? Like, we can't go blaming everybody else and whoever we got the signal from and, you know, whatever Powell said and whoop, right? That's just the, you know, that's just the way it goes, bro. Nobody wants to really own up to their faults, right? So, you know, it's just at certain points, at certain times, Ghost would be like, yo, I know why I lost that because I did this instead of doing that when I said I was going to do that. And I had to tip my hat because most people won't stand up and say, yeah, my name is Bain, I'm a crack addict, or I'm an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? That's when once you finally admit it, now you can start to recover. You get what I'm saying? But most people ain't, you know, accept that fault. And that's what keeps you from winning, bro. Just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta say, okay, shit, it's something I'm not doing right, or it's something I'm, you know, like, basically it's you're not following what you say you want to follow. That's what you're not doing right, and that's why you're getting the results that you're getting. Right? This trading shit, bro, is not about the technicals. It's not about the fundamentals. It is about your psychology and your patience. I promise you. I promise you. All you have to do is be patient enough to wait for your setup. All you have to do is be disciplined enough not to over leverage, not to put too much hot sauce on it. You get what I'm saying? All you got to do is not revenge trade, right? All of these simple little things, they sound simple, right? But they're the hardest thing to do.
They're the hardest, yeah.
They the hardest thing. You done already ran. Oh, I got support and resistance. I got fair value. I got liquidity. You done already got the technicals. You get what I'm saying? But if you're not seeing any consistency, what you making profit, what do you think is the problem? You get what I'm saying? It's that psychology, bro. So trust and believe me, man. The more you sit on your hands, the more you become patient, and the more you understand what a really good setup looks like, because you understand your technicals, it's about to be game over, right? So I'm just like, you know, you tap in with me, it's going to be a whole nother ball game. Martez, you better tell him, right? As a matter of fact, yeah, give him a little, you know, you got to give him a whole bunch, but, you know, give him a little something on how things work for you and, you know, what turned things around, just so that he can have an idea, because it's real over here. But go ahead.
Oh man, bro. I mean, shit, Southpaw all the time, bro. I had started with Bain. I was already trading for about, I think, like almost 2 years, and I was in MLMs and shit. I think it's called IML, and following all these type of people, but I just never saw any consistent success. And I was about to give up. And I was in this one dude's group, and his name was Jordan. And Bain was in there. And for some reason, like, whenever I would follow his input, I would, you know, win or something. So I joined his group, and I remember just coming to every class, trying to take in what I learned and messaging him. And man, I got $100. You know what I'm saying? What can I do with this? Woo woo. And I remember first time I took $100, turned it to $5, then I took $100, turned it to 1,000, then 5,000. that 15,000 and 30,000 I had made off of one trade learning from him. And yeah, real shit. I mean, this man completely helped me like unlearn and relearn everything about what I thought I knew, and it changed my life, bro. I done moved across the country. I done been out the country several times since learning from Bain, bro.
How long you been training, bro?
Now it's going on what, 5 years? Because I've been with Bain for like 2 years, almost 3 now. So about 5 years. Yeah.
And
yeah. Go ahead.
But no, I'm glad he asked that, because it's not no overnight thing.
Oh yeah, I know that for sure. I know that. Yeah, I know that. Nothing. You won't get nothing overnight.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. So, yeah, Martez, you finish up if you still got more. But
no, I was just saying, like, you know, it's just, I be telling people every time, like, this is somebody you want to stick with, because he can really change your life. You know, whether you stay for a year or 2 or 6 months, like, what he's giving out is life-changing material, bro. Like, it is.
I can tell, bro. I can tell.
Yeah. And I appreciate that always, Martez. Rondell, was it Rondell?
Yeah, Rondell. Yeah, Rondell.
How do you spell it?
Randale. Okay,
Randell. So it's like Randell.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it right then. So one of the things that you know, you need to understand, if you don't already, is it doesn't matter what you trade. It doesn't matter like what asset class you trade.
Yeah, right? I feel like it's all the same. It's about like how you move with the market and your strategy. You know.
Yes, that you hit it on the head. The concepts are all the same. The asset is the only thing that changes. You get what I'm saying? So you understand your support and resistance. You understand your supply and demand. You understand your fair value gaps and whoop. You understand those. You can carry those to any. You can carry them crypto, future. It don't matter. You get what I'm saying? But you have to have that solid foundation first, and then you can rule the world, right? You get what I'm saying? So that's what I basically teach you, right? I teach you how to really understand your technical market structure and, you know, what the charts are telling you, bro. You get what I'm saying? And once you get that, and you go to testing it a little bit, you know, you have that what I mentioned earlier, where you let things play out and you don't touch it type of thing. You're just gonna be like, okay, now, you know, that was the missing piece. That was what I wasn't doing before, right? You know what I mean? And now I can see, now that I've done it, that's what I needed to do. You get what I'm saying? And that's you know, where I want to lead you to. You know, if you get in the mix, right? It's all up to you. It's never no pressure. I just know that you come over here is gonna be something. You get what I'm saying? It's so that's what we got, you know, for just how I do things, right? Again, swing trading, I look at the monthly for the trend, the weekly to confirm the trend. So if I see uptrend on the monthly, I'm looking to see if we're making higher highs and higher lows on the weekly, right? I'm looking to see if we're at a, you know, if we had price come down and it's at some sort of point of interest, like a demand area. And then if I see that, then I'm going to the daily and I'm looking to try to enter off of that to catch it up to whatever that next swing high or low is. And the same thing applies for everything else. It's just I'm looking at different time frames. You get what I'm saying? And that's really it. So to your stuff, all right, now, again, forgive me, but it's just how I roll. All right. When people tell me that they know something, I just quiz them. So if you happen not to know it, don't feel embarrassed and all of that shit, right? It's nothing like that. You need to get it right. You feel me? So all right, so check this out. All right. So dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. All right. All right. What is this area at where my mouse is? Right here. Is this support or resistance?
Support.
Okay. What is this area here where my mouse is? Is this support or resistance?
Resistance.
Okay, so you were wrong on both. All right. So over here where my mouse was, this was resistance. Okay, and then over here where my mouse was, this was support.
Okay, I got it. It's opposite. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So make sure that, well, I'm going to go over everything so you'll have a better understanding of it right now. But the reason why this is resistance is because when price came up to it, it did not break above it. It respected it and it came down. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
You feel me? And then the reason why this was support was because price came down to it, respected it, and then went up. It didn't break below it, right? If you standing on the floor, right, that's your support, right? If you can't break through that ceiling, it's resisting you from, you know, getting above it, right? And that's what this represents, right? Now, where this whole little square or, you know, rectangle or whatever this is, right? Where this is a what we call a valid area, all right, or valid zone, because it acted as resistance and support at the same time. I didn't move this square. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It stayed right here where it is, but the way that price reacted to it, it acted as mommy and daddy at the same time, making it a strong area or zone, if you will. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, in real life, you know, I don't know, you know, what your situation is, not like that. I'm not trying to, you know, dig in your business. I'm just saying, like, if you only had your dad in your life, well, guess what? He had to do mommy and daddy duties. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And then if you only have your mom in your life, she had to do mommy and daddy duties, right? So if you only had your dad, you know, you got to get in the kitchen and whip something up, right? If you only had your mom, she got to take the trash out and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just, if you have someone who's doing both roles, that's pretty fun. You know, it's unfortunate, but I'm just saying, like, for them to be able to do it is dope. You get what I'm saying? Like, most men know, you know, we can cook, but most men don't be in the kitchen like that. Like the women, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then most women don't be taking out trash like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you doing both and you doing it good, that should be praised, or that's you know, that's going to be looked at as, damn, that's, you know, they got both sides. You feel what I'm saying? That's how we look at these levels, right? Or these areas when they act as both support or support over here, and then resistance. When they act as both, that's what we call, you know, significant area. So the next time price gets here, right, we're going to be like, oh, it's very significant, because every time price gets in this area, it reacts from it. So since it's coming down, we're looking for it to react and go up, right? If it happened to break below it, right, and it does one of these and it starts to come back up, well, guess what? We're going to look for it to react again from the same area, because that's what it did in the past, right? And that's what looking left means. If you ever heard that term, it just means looking to see what price did in the past. They kind of predict what it's going to do in the future. Again, you showed up late and shorty ate you alive. What you think is going to happen the next time you show up late? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all we really doing, bro. And the moment, yeah, go ahead.
So say, for instance, if I was getting it straight right here, right? When I put my TP above those highs,
up here, like, okay, so tell me what direction would you be going in? Like, are you saying, are you going to sell it from here?
No,
or
going bullish.
Okay, going bullish. So if you, I wouldn't recommend buying right now, because price is pushed up and we don't buy high. So that's another little lesson I was going to get into. But you know, you got us there now, so you know we're here. But price is pushing up, we don't buy high. Okay, because especially with knowing what price did last time it got up into this area, right? It's more than likely to fall than it is to continue rising. All right, I'm not saying that's how it always going to be, but that's just like the probability of things when we're talking market structure, right? If you're coming up against a resistance zone, price is going to resist it, right? And then there's going to come in and drop it. So if you know, this is literally something that everybody who was ever new came to me. This was their first Achilles heel. They would say, "Bain, I get into a trade," so they buy it. I get into a trade. The trade goes against me, and then it goes in my favor. And what the fuck? What's up with that? And it's because it was the simplest fix. All right. And again, maybe Martez can attest to this or not. I'm just saying, like, the simplest fix was telling them that they're buying high and they're selling low. And then they go, wait, what? And then when they see it, they like, oh shit. So you mean to tell me that price was already up and I was buying it at that high price, and so it went down, right? Because it was already high. And then after it went down and it found whatever floor or whatever point of interest, whatever, then it started to go up. I'd be like, yeah. You're like, they like, get the fuck out of here. So I've been losing all of this money, losing all of these trades for something that simple. Yep. That's all I have to be like, yep. You know what I'm saying? And then they change it. So they don't buy high anymore and they don't sell low anymore. And now they see a hell of a difference in their trading, where the moment they get into it, they're starting to see profits right away instead of seeing price immediately go against them. Is that making any sense?
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead and ask your question. I want you to get, what you're trying to understand in terms of, because again, I wouldn't buy it, but let's just, hypothetically, let's just say we bought it and you wanted to know where to put your stop loss, right?
Yeah, I'll put it. Well, for me, if I was to buy right here, I'll put my stop loss above under the previous lows.
So you're right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then where would you take profit go?
To those highs.
Okay. All right. Good.
Like probably under the under.
All right. I respect that, because again, this is a zone. It's not just a point. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So now this could work out, right? We could reject this as resistance. Guess what? Because you bought high, you're going to see red, probably immediately, right? Yeah. You're going to see more red. You're going to see more red. It's going to get close to your stop loss. You're going to panic. All the fear and anxiety, all that shit going to kick in. And then you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Let me just get out, right? Before it hits my stop loss, right? It ain't hit it, but it's so close. You're losing so much, right? You're seeing all of that red. It fucks with you mentally, right? And it could cause you to just go ahead and close out that trade. So boom, you close out. And of course, what happens?
It goes back up. Yeah.
Boom. You understand what I'm saying? This is the main reason why we don't want to buy high. That is the main reason, bro. That's just it. That's the main reason. But again, you could have, it may not have taken you out, right? Like, let's just say you didn't touch it at all, right? And you just, you saw it going down and, you're sweating bullets because it's getting super close. But you just like, nah, Bain said, don't fucking touch that shit. So I'm going to leave it alone, man. I hate this shit because I'm losing it and blah, 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 right? So you leave it alone and then it gets real close and then it turns around and you're like, whoa, thank you, Jesus, right? I knew it was going to go up, right? But most people don't have enough of those times to really feel that. You get what I'm saying? They just won't let it happen, bro. It's just what it is. So to avoid this anxiety right here, bro, we wait. That's it. We just wait for price to come and now we buy.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And then when you really understand market structure, so this is a little form of market structure right here. This is high, low, high, low, high. And this is also inside of market structure, you have two phases. You have the run phase and the pullback phase. The run phase and the pullback phase. The run phase is when price goes in your direction, in this case up, because it's an uptrend. Then the pullback phase is when it goes down in the opposite of the trend of what the trend is, which is up. So it's going down. That's the pullback. Then after the pullback phase, you get the run phase. After the run phase, you get the pullback phase. After the pullback phase, you get the run phase. That makes up your whole market structure in this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, uptrend market structure. So when you understand that about market structure, and you know that when price is running up in the uptrend, you're in the run phase. So the next phase, once it goes to a certain point, a certain high point, the next phase is going to be the pullback phase. So why would you buy it at the very high of the run when it's going to go into the pullback phase and drop a little lower, right? You always, in a uptrend, you always want to buy from the higher low.
Like
Higher low.
They call that like a bottom tick, right?
A bottom what?
A bottom tick. Top tick, bottom tick. How do you try to catch the play at the bottom of the candle?
When you're talking futures, yes.
Yeah.
When you're talking futures, yes, they talk that's the terminology in future for sure by the ticks. But this is more because I want to say forget future terminology, but I don't really mean that. What I want to say is that you just need to understand market structure, which has nothing to do with the type of asset that you're trading or the type of asset class that you're trading. You get what I'm saying? Like think about it like who do you make the car or does the car make you?
You said what?
Do you make the car? Like if you get into a Benz, let's just say some chick, she see you riding in a Benz, right? And or let's just say, no, let's put it this way. 1 week, shorty see you riding in a hoopty, right? And then the very next week, she see you riding in a Benz, right? What changed? What really changed about you?
The car.
That's the only thing that changed, bro. Nothing changed about you. You get what I'm saying? So you made the car. You get what I'm saying? Like she thought you might not have been anything when you was in the hoopty. But then all you did was just get out the hoopty, get into the Benz. Nothing changed about you. You were the same dude that you were in the hoopty that you were in the Benz.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now, your pockets may be different, but I'm just saying, like, nothing really changed about you. And this is what I'm getting at in terms of the market structure. The market structure is not going to change, bro. You're going to see uptrend structure, downtrend structure, and consolidation structure, no matter what asset you switch over to. Do you follow me with that?
Yeah, I feel
so you learn the structure. You learn you can hop in any car you want to. Is what I'm trying to get at. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to make you make the car, bro. The car don't make you. Market structure makes your trading, not you trading ass. You get what I'm saying? Or you trading crypto. It's you understanding market structure. Let's learn this market structure, bro, and watch how everything flips on its head. And I'm already gonna just put it into the universe for you, bro. You're gonna make a crazy bag that you ain't never made before, and you're just gonna wonder why you didn't see it before. It's because nobody explained it, or you just ain't come across to where it makes sense to you. You know what I mean? That's just really at the end of the day what that boils down to. You feel me?
Yeah.
So let me hit you with again, just quizzing some more on support and resistance. All right. So just roll with me. You got time right now, or you gotta go?
I got all the time in the world, man. All
right. Sweet deal. Ghost, do you are you able to hang? Also, you gotta work, or what's the deal?
I'm cool, man. I'm just teaching. I can always get it when you go over it again. I'll be like.
Oh, and Randall, bro, this is recorded. So if you need this recording, let Ghost know, and I'll get it to him, and he'll get it to you.
All right, bet.
All right. So boom, give me a second. All right. So this is how it works with support and resistance. All right. I'm gonna teach it, and then I'm gonna quiz you. And funny enough, I played my support and resistance song before you came in. So if you listen to that, that'll school you all together. All right. That's one of the things that I do. I just put the educational pieces in the music.
Oh, that's right.
You feel me? So that people could really understand the shit isn't as hard as they try to make it seem. You feel me? They kept the shit from us for a reason. You get what I'm saying? Because they know once we get a hold of it, it's a wrap. Right. All that bullshit that they try to keep us, from having what they have. Right. That's all over with. You know what I mean? So again, I'm serious about this shit, just so you know what I mean? And I don't play no games with it, bro. I got, things that I'm trying to do, for my family and myself, bro, that, I don't play no games with this. So just know, you're dealing with somebody who's like very serious. And, I'm not going to lead you wrong, going, oh, let me just, take your money or give you some, some obnoxious thing to do, just because. I don't roll like that. All right. But here it is. You're going to get priced to basically do this. All right.
Consolidation, right?
Consolidation, my boy. And again, all you got on any market in any given time of day is 3 types of market structure. I'm just gonna put MC, all right, or MS for market structure, right? 3 types of market structure. You got your uptrend, right? You got your consolidation, which is just this one.
And you got the downtrend.
And you got the downtrend. This is all you're gonna get, bro. This is literally all you're gonna get. I don't care how you slice and dice it. This is all you're gonna get. In a uptrend, we're looking to buy from the higher lows. In a downtrend, we're looking to sell from the lower highs. In a uptrend, again, the market structure goes like this. Every, price continues to make these new highs, right? And in a downtrend, price continues to make these new lows, right? It's just the way it goes. Again, we're reading the structure. We got a run, a pullback, a run, a pullback, a run, pullback. Same with the downtrend. The run is just going in the opposite direction, which is down now. So run, pullback, run, pullback, run, pullback. What's the next phase right now? So again, I'll hit it from the top. Run, pullback, run, pullback, run, pullback. What's next?
So run back down.
Boom. You understand? Every time you get a rundown, you break a low. This is how you know that you are in a downtrend. When lows get broken, you're in a downtrend. When highs, this high, when that pushes up and gets broken, you're in an uptrend.
Okay, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And again, we read this as we start like this in uptrend. We say this is a low, this is a high, and then this is a higher low. Why is this a higher low, you say, Bain? Well, it's because this low is higher than the very first low that we had. Does that make any sense? Okay. And then now this was our high. Okay. So now we push up in that run phase and then we come down. So we make another high. But now we call this a higher high, right? Why are we calling this one a higher high? You have any idea?
Because it's higher than the previous high.
Boom. All right. Round of applause. All right, fellas. Right on time. Right. This ain't rocket science. You know what I'm saying? But he getting it right away. And again, like, you've been in the mix, so I expect you to know something, right? But if that's a higher high, what would this be right here?
Higher low.
Why is that a higher low?
Because it's above the previous low. So
Okay,
that's a higher low.
That is absolutely right. But I want you to say it the way that you kind of said this one when you broke down this higher high. You told me why this was a higher high, and the way you said it was perfect, and how I want you to continue to say it so that it never gets misconstrued. So you said that this was a higher high because it was higher than the previous high. So then you got this right, saying that this is a higher low. But again, why is it a higher low?
It's higher than the previous low.
Boom. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like, bro, grasping that, okay? Grasping just that is going to help you understand how to read that market structure, bro. All right, so let's flip it to the downside, to the downtrend. All right, so how we start to read it is this is our high. All right, remember, we're going down. That's our high. Here's our low. Then we push up in the retracement, or what we call the pullback, right? And now we create that V shape. So now this creates a lower high, okay? And I want you to peep something real quick. In a uptrend, notice how everything that we're talking about starts with H, starts with higher, okay? So in the downtrend, what do you think everything's going to start with?
L, because we're lower.
Exactamundo. So we got our high, we got our low, we got our lower high. What would this be?
Lower low.
Exactly. Why would that be a lower low?
Because it's lower than the previous low.
Boom. Man, let's go. So now what would this be?
The lower high.
Okay. Why would that be a lower high?
Because it's lower than the previous high.
There you go. Bro, can you not tell me that ain't just make you feel like
I'm smiling right now, I ain't gonna lie.
You understand what I'm saying to you, bro?
Yeah.
You will absolutely start to see everything differently. Right? I don't trade with a bunch of indicators, bro. It don't be a lot of stuff on my charts, bro. I ain't got 50,000 what do they call it, MACD and all of that. I done been there, I done done that. I don't need all that shit. I don't need all that, bro. I need to be able to see what the structure's saying. If I can read the structure, I'm gonna make money. Period. Okay. That's just how that's gonna go. You understand me? Because if you understand, like right here, right? So we ran up, we made a what? Boom. So now we understand that we're at a higher point. Are we gonna buy right here?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because we're gonna wait for the next higher low to confirm our entry.
Boom, bro. You got it. So price will eventually get to some point of interest. Typically, it'll go right back to the high that it previously broke above. That's, again, you'll see that in time. But you'll make that new higher high, and it'll retrace back. This is the pullback, right? That was the run to make the higher high. Now you're getting the pullback. He was like, okay, Bain, he got me. He's like, yeah, don't buy that shit right there. No. Because we're probably going to have a retracement or a pullback to a point of interest, which is the area that we broke, a fair value gap or demand area. Those are points of interest. We'll tap into that. But we'll pull back, and then price will begin to come up to where it forms that V shape. And that V shape is your higher low. Now we pull the trigger. We buy it now. Why? Because the pullback phase is over with, and now we're going into the run phase. Where do we expect, if we're going into the run phase, and this is supposed to be an uptrend, if it's going to stay an uptrend, what do you think price has to go in order for this to remain an uptrend?
To the previous highs, right?
That's right. It needs to get to that high, right? It can get there and reverse, and that's where you get your double tops from. All right, a little bit of schooling on that. But if we're going to continue just being an uptrend, it's going to break above it, and then just keep rinsing and repeating everything that it's been doing. Make a higher low, then a higher high, a higher low, then a higher high. Bro, let me tell you, you keep looking for making sure that you can read the structure, you will make money. Because all that's going to happen, bro, is you're going to say, okay, I see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Or you're going to be like, I don't know what the fuck this is. It's the same high and it's the same low. Or you'll see something, it'll go like this. It'll go higher, it'll go boom. So higher high, right? And then you get your high low, right? But then it'll do this. Like, what the hell is going on here? You can't read the structure anymore. So if you can't read the structure, stay away from it. That's it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is, everybody tries to trade everything all the time, bro. And when they do that, they end up realizing that they're not getting anywhere. You're just taking a bunch of trades, but you're not getting anywhere, right? You win one, you lose one. You win one, you lose one. You win two, you lose two. You win, like, everything's a break even.
Yeah.
This is the only way to stop that is to stay focused on making sure that you're taking a part. You're taking trades that are a part of actual uptrends and downtrends. Period. Again, you can do the consolidation if you want to, right? Because there's money to be made in that. But this is where the real money's made, right? So that's what you have with that structure, uptrend and downtrend, and consolidation. Again, it's not that you can't make money, but ideally we just try to stay away from it. All right. But let's get to support and resistance one more time. And I want to tell you, so if you got your notebook out right now, I'm just going to start telling you something to write and put down, and then I'm going to show it to you on the chart. So one of the things that qualifies an area as support or resistance is it has to have multiple touches. All right. So write that down, multiple touches to qualify an area as support or resistance. Atlanta playing, y'all playing Arizona, Ghost. See
They just tied the thing up.
Oh, that's what's up.
With a field goal. I mean, touchdown, my bad.
Nice.
Where you from?
Thing today.
Bain, where you from, man?
Dade County. And the Dolphins suck. But yeah, I'm from Miami. Where you from, bro?
I'm from Georgia too. I'm from it's called Columbus.
Oh, Columbus, for sure. Yeah, I got people up there. My people is up there. And show me off they big ass houses. I hate their ass. All that damn space. We ain't got shit in Miami. But yeah, man, we second cousin, or we first cousin pretty much.
So I wrote that down.
All right. So let me show you what it looks like. All right. Well, you're looking at it. All right. So here you can see that price basically touched support once, it touched it twice, it touched it 3 times. And the opposite for resistance, it touched it once, touched it twice, 3 times, and a 4th time. So it actually touched support here 4 times. We just didn't reverse off of it just yet. So we can't really call it support. And that's, well, even though we know it is support, all I'm getting at is, like, just because price is getting to a low point doesn't automatically make that support. Price has to reject that area, and then you got your support. All right. So that's a little tidbit, but that's the first thing. So multiple touches. Okay. You need at least 2. You get 2 touches. That's going to qualify your area as a support area. All right. So if you just got that, that one area right here, right, we're not really looking at that as support.
It's not enough.
Right. It's not enough to qualify it as support. You want to see price come back down to it and actually respect it. Okay. Now we know that it's support, because if price comes back down to here and break it, then what are you going to say about that area? You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna cut it. So we need at least 2 touches for either support or resistance to qualify it as a valid support or resistance area. Right. So that's the first thing, multiple touches.
Okay. But
the second thing is we need to see price drastically move away from that area. Right. So you can have a situation like this where price is here and then it just kind of does one of these numbers and then maybe does like this. This move up looks nothing like this move up. You get what I'm saying to you?
yeah.
So we need a drastic move away, one that you can visibly see it created a nice V shape, right? This is your V shape for when we're looking for support, and here's your V shape when we're looking for resistance. And again, I break that down literally in the song, right? But that's it, right? So we need that drastic move away. You can see when it got to resistance, drastic move away, creating this V shape over here. And then on the support side, right, when we came down to it, it drastically moved away, creating this V shape. So that's your second rule to qualify an area as support or resistance. It needs to have a drastic move away.
Okay, but
okay. Another thing is what we talked about a little earlier is when price, right, when you have like support or resistance. So like we will break support, but then we'll come back to it and respect it, and we'll fall back down again. In the past, it was support, but once we broke it, it became resistance.
Okay.
So when it acts as both support and resistance, that makes it a valid area.
Okay, but so what if it goes past? Say if it was to go up and it went past the green zone. What would that do?
That would turn So once it breaks it, right, this is no longer resistance, but you need to see price come back down and respect it, give you that drastic move away for you to mark it as support once again. But to be honest, you should already kind of expect that because of what you saw in the past.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's what that'll be. But anytime you break, like anytime price goes above resistance, this automatically comes support. Even if price didn't come back down to it yet and respect it, it's still support. It's no longer resistance because it broke. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's only resistance when it gets rejected and it falls. Same with support. It's only support if it gets to that area and rejects it and goes the opposite direction. So when you're talking about price comes up and it breaks above that support, it automatically turns it, it breaks above that resistance, it automatically turns it into support. So that's just how that goes. And again, you'll have your downtrend, right? Where it was support right here, but then when price broke it, it automatically became resistance.
Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah.
So those are your main three things that if you look for those, when you're looking for your support and resistance areas, you will find valid areas. All right. So like I'm gonna look right now on this euro pound pair. All right. So I'm gonna go to, let's do the daily. All right. Okay, boom. Okay, I'm gonna make this yellow. All right. Now, when price was right here, what was the zone? What was that zone when price was right here?
Support. Right.
Nope.
Resistance.
It was resistance. Now think about it.
Okay, it came up, then went back down.
That's right. Okay. What was this zone when price was right here?
Resistance.
Okay. What was this zone when price was right here?
Resistance.
Okay. What happened right here?
Support.
No. What happened? What actually happened?
Oh, what actually happened? It broke resistance.
That's right. So once it broke resistance, this resistance automatically became what?
Support.
Support. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, if we break below here, what will this zone now become?
Resistance.
Boom. Resistance, bro. You got it. Is it coming together?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do some more.
I got a lot of homework, man.
Hey, that's how I go. And to keep it real with you, the people who have the homework, who know they have the homework, those are the people that typically really want to get some shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like you really trying to get somewhere. You're really trying to learn. Like that's what that means. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you're not going to find a lot of people like that. I'm just keeping it real. Like, some people are, get some education and hear some things, but then, they go about their life. You know what I mean? They ain't really trying to dive deeper into it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So for the simple fact that you said that, I already know what time it is. You get what I'm saying? Like you will not only figure it out, but then you're going to have a lot of success come your way with your trading because you took the time to figure it out. That's what separates the rookies from the vets, my boy. Like the ones who are doing good in Forex is because they really went to go figure that shit out, and they didn't stop until they figured it out. That's what it is. All right, I know people be trying to make it seem like it was some divine whatever. No, they just ain't give the fuck up. That's all that was, bro. It took plenty L's. All right, plenty L's. All right, I got a song called Forex Cry. All right, and you can already tell what time it is with that. You know what I'm saying? I got two songs called Finding Forex 1, Finding Forex 2, and it talks about the struggles, bro. Like I got maybe almost 100 songs right now. So you're gonna really see, like, in due time, if you get in the mix, that this is all, for this isn't for the weak, is what I'm saying. It's only for the strong and the people who really want something. So just big time thing that you said with that homework, it's gonna get you right. All right. So over here, once again, what was this zone when we were right here?
Resistance.
Okay. Now, what was this zone when we were right here?
You got me. Hold on, let me cook.
Yeah.
It's resistance still, right?
That's resistance still. Now, why do you think? And I did that on purpose, right? And I got you to take the time out to think about where the candles are in terms of where the actual zone is, and that's what you thought about, and you realized that the candles were below the zone. So anytime the candles are below the zone, it's resistance.
Okay.
Anytime the candles are above that same zone, it's support.
Okay, good.
So if price comes down to here, what would this zone be?
It'll still be resistance.
Nope.
Support?
It's support now.
Okay.
Because the candles are above the zone.
Okay. So when it go back up from here, right? Because I want to say it's like a liquidity. This is what they call liquidity sweep, right? Like kind of like that.
Nope. That's different. And that's a more advanced thing. It's not super advanced, but that's just the next level. After you really understand support and resistance, that becomes the next level. I'll give it to you really short, real quick,
I get them mixed up sometimes. Like, I just gotta
let me break it down. This is what I do. All right. So here are your liquidity areas. You have swing lows, you have swing highs. Okay, you have trend lines. That's an uptrend line. You have downtrend lines, right? You also have consolidation, right? Boom, 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 right? And you also have what was that last thing? It was consolidation, trend lines, swings, and oh yeah, equal highs and equal lows. Your double tops, your double bottoms. Double tops look like the letter M. Double bottoms look like the letter W. Just flipping them, right? Okay. Liquidity is, most people understand double tops are a bearish reversal pattern. So somebody's selling from this high, somebody's selling from that high. Their stop losses are probably behind another high that's over here, but more than likely right above these swings somewhere. Like they just get they put their stop loss right above here somewhere. When their stop losses are here, that is money, aka liquidity. Okay, so you know, most of the time people don't explain liquidity as money, or they don't explain it as orders, right? They just say liquidity, right? So people are like, okay, liquidity, you know what I'm saying? But they don't really understand what the fuck is liquidity. You get what I'm saying? The liquidity is where your orders are, right? Where there's a pending order, right? Because you think price is going to break above this and go higher, you have a buy stop order. Or it's your stop loss order from when you sold it from this high, because we sell high. So you sold it and you put your stop loss somewhere right above it, because again, you're selling it. So if it goes any higher, you want it to take you out because you don't want it to keep, you know, rising and taking all your money because you're looking to sell. So your stop loss order is there, right? That's your stop loss order. Maybe I sold it. My stop loss order is there. Maybe Ghost sold it. Maybe Martez sold it. All of our stop losses are right here. So we got, you know, maybe I took out a standard lot. Maybe you took out 10 standard lots, right? Maybe Ghost and Martez took out 50 standard lots. That's a whole lot of fucking money sitting at our stop losses. Yeah. The banks can see that. The banks know that. They can see everybody orders. That's what we don't have access to unless we pay for it, which is called level 2 data, right? It's seeing or having the ability to view where all of the orders sit. When you're looking at the market, you can't see where my stop loss is. You can't see where nobody's stop loss is. But when you pay for this level 2 data, and there's even level 3 where it just, you know, just shows you more details of things, but you get to see where all of these people orders are. And you're like, oh shit, there's a bunch of people that got their stop losses right here. So typically what will happen is the banks, the institutions, they will go and sweep that liquidity. They will hit your stop loss, basically taking your money because you lost, right? So the money had to go to somebody, right? They got the money. And now they're using that money to be a bitch and send that shit right back down where you were headed in the first place. It's a dirty game, bro, but I promise you, I'm going to help you clean that shit and realize what it is. There's your liquidity sweep. So liquidity has to deal with where the money's sitting. And the money usually sits behind these things that I showed you. Swing lows, because people bought from here, so their stop losses are behind it. Swing highs, because people sold from here, and their stop losses are behind that. Trend lines, because people bought off the trend lines, right? Because it's an uptrend, so you see price doing like this, hitting the trend line every single time, right? So people who are trend line traders, they're going to buy from there, and their stops are going to be back here. Same with selling the trend line to the downside, right? Here is people stops because price is, you know, doing one of these numbers where it keeps bouncing off of the trend line, and they're expecting it to wait. Is this so that's up? And yeah, that's wait, let me see. Oh, my bad. So hold on. I got it inside out. But yeah, so here, right, price keeps doing like this, right? Bouncing off of that trend line and heading down. So somebody's selling it right here, and then their stops are behind here. So what the market will do is it will push up behind that trend line, take them out, and then just push it right back down. In the uptrend line, they will push price down, get your money, and then push that shit right back up. For consolidation, you got people who bought from the bottom of consolidation, and you got people who sold from the top of the consolidation. So 9 times out of 10, what usually happens is one side will get taken, and then the other side will get taken, and then they'll push it down. Or, you know, we can play this in reverse, right? They take the upside and then the downside, and then it'll go up. You understand? So that's what liquidity is all about, and liquidity sweeps are all about. But that, in order for you to really understand liquidity, you got to understand market structure. If you don't know nothing about a swing low or a swing high, which is a part of uptrend and downtrend market structure, then you don't really know anything about liquidity. How could you? You get what I'm saying? If you don't know anything about market structure with consolidation, how could you? You know, if you don't know anything about chart patterns, double tops, double bottoms, wedges, flags, pennants, all that shit, if you don't know anything about that, which every pattern that you look at, it's basically formed with market structure, right? This double top, it was really an uptrend, right? It just so happened when it made this high and it came to make this higher low, when it went up, it didn't make a higher high, it made an equal high. and then it pushed down. That's what gave you your double top. But it's at the root of it all. It's just market structure, bro.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So again, you get your market structure down first, then you'll understand liquidity a lot better. But it's levels to it. It's stages. First stage is your support and resistance, right? Your second stage is your market structure, right? Your third stage is your supply and demand, right? Your fourth stage is your liquidity, your trend lines, all those things, right? But you layer one on top of the other. But once you have a good understanding of the foundation, bro, you can do whatever. You understand what I'm saying? If you know how to build a house, if you know the foundation of how to build a house, you can build a 1-story house, 2-story, 3-story, right? It don't fucking matter. You can build a mansion. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to know how to lay the bricks down, bro. And that's what I teach you to do. I'm going to teach you to understand the absolute meat and potatoes of what you need to know how to see, read what the market is telling you. It's a book. But if you can't make out the words, you can't, what I'm saying? Like, how you going to, open that book and you're like, damn, what does this encyclopedia word mean? I don't know what this shit mean. You know what I'm saying? How you going to understand the book? So I just teach you how to read the candles, read the charts, read the structure. And once you're able to read that and you start realizing, okay, we at the support area. Okay, we in this type of market structure. Okay, we had this demand or we had the supply. Oh, I can see the swing low and there's probably liquidity behind that and boom, boom, boom. Bro, the light bulb is just going to stay on and you're going to feel way powerful. You're going, bro, I can't tell you how many times I was in a jam and I went to the charts and made the money and was able to get out that jam. That power alone, bro, is sick. Like, you don't have that same kind of power with your job, right? You got to work a certain amount of hours. You got to go through that particular stress, right? You might have a physical job. You could hurt your back or you could hurt your knee or some shit. Who the fuck knows, right? You know what I'm saying? You got way more on the line than you would of being able to just open up your computer or your phone, look at a chart, press a button, and boom, and do it whenever the fuck you want to. You can do it 3 a.m, right? Your boss say, no, you can't come in 3 a.m. And then what you doing, bro? We ain't even over yet. Man, I got to make this money though. You don't understand. You're like, well, you need to come back at 9 o'clock. You're like, shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just understand, bro. You get the basics and the foundation. The market it'll be at your disposal. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to say, okay, I can go in there, and make a little something, right? And that'll, more than likely get you out of, any type situation that you may happen to be in where you need something. But I don't want you to play it like that, right? I don't want you to keep, I don't want you to be in a situation and feel like you need to come to the market to try to, get out of it, right? What I want you to do is understand that this is a way for you to get out of almost any situation financially, right? So I want you to take it with a whole bunch of seriousness. If you do that, then everything's going to work itself out, bro. It's just going to work itself out. You're going to take your 1 to 3 trades that week. You're going to make about a band the first day, right? Maybe the next week you make about 1,500, right? And Martez already gave you some numbers. It's very possible. You understand what I'm saying? But it ain't possible with your emotions all over the place. It ain't possible with you just half-assing shit and, doing all the things that you shouldn't do. It's not possible like that. It's possible with just having straight discipline and consistency. And you can keep, get control of your emotions. If you need ghosts to slap you around, hey, we got to do what we got to do. You understand what I'm saying? So you can be straight. But bro, it's lovely over here, man. And you trading futures, it make way more money than Forex does. So I'm just letting you know, like, if you get this, bro, your future trading is just gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane, bro. You're gonna be taking 1 trade a week. If that, you might take a trade in a week that make you more money than you make at your job in a month. I'm telling you. You get what I'm saying? So you ain't even got to trade for the rest of the month if you don't want to. You get me? But that's just the area where I want to have you at, where I want to get you to, is where, like, none of this is a stressful situation where you're trying to make this money. So you're taking all of these risks and now you're in a deeper hole because you were going off emotions. You wasn't understanding that that's not how to do go about it. So that's that. But yeah, tell me so far what question you might have, support and resistance.
All right, I got a question. Yeah, if you was to start all the way over again from zero, how would you build yourself up,
bro?
How would you build yourself up,
man? Listen to me, boy. If that's not $1 million question right there, okay. And I actually I'm gonna throw a note to Ghost when this is over, because it's already in my notes. Me answering that question, even though nobody asked me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just letting like I already know. But the things that I went over with you now, that's okay. Let me put it the right way. So if I started over, I would absolutely dive in to market structure, bro. That's not how I started. Do you understand me? Yeah. I started buying people's indicators. You get what I'm saying? I was dependent on the RSI, MACD, Ichimoku cloud, moving averages, just all kind of shit, bro. Like, I had a laundry. Matter of fact, let me see if I pull this up. Indicators. Look at all these. I mean, this really is cut short from what I used to have. Right? You know what I mean? These are just some that I actually like and I can, I use from time to time. But bro, I probably had like 100 indicators on here. Like, when I used to go back and look at my charts, you could not, if I just turn these indicators on, right? Let me just try this. Basically, you wouldn't be able to see any of my fucking candles. You get what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't see none of these candles on my chart. So basically, me starting over would eliminate indicators right off the bat, bro.
Yeah, I don't even use indicators.
So you're already ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying?
I try to, just like yours, like I try to keep it plain. You know, I don't try to have too much on the screen. I want to see like the candles, so I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. That's all you need to see. You know what I'm saying? The indicators still, you know, they have their significance, right? Again, I tell the fellas all the time, you know, it's about to be Christmas. So, you know, most jobs that have like a Christmas party and whoop, 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 right? So, you know, down here in Miami, you know, I remember, you know, one of my jobs, you know, they had us on the yard and all that good stuff, right? So everybody get all spiffy and, you know, look nice and all of that. Yeah. But, you know, when you get dressed, right, you know, you got your tuxedo, or you got something flat, right? You put it on, you look in the mirror, you're like, oh yeah, I'm killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you confident with how you look and what you got on. But, you know, you might call me up and be like, yo, hey, you know, check this outfit out, man. You know, what you think? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, you looking good in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you confirmation on some shit you already knew. You get what I'm saying? That's what indicators are. It's just extra confirmation, bro. It's not the, you know, it's not the tell all. Because guess what? I could be like, man, I don't really like that color. You'd be like, man, you tripping, man. This shit hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna deter you from feeling how you feel about, you know, how you look. You get what I'm saying? And that's how, you know, I look at indicators, bro. It's like they help, but they not the thing that you should be dependent on to, you know, make a decision. So like if I say, man, I don't really like that color, and then you switch up the color, well, guess what? You finna go to the party and you're gonna be feeling all some type of way. Somebody probably even gonna hit you and be like, yo, Rendell, man, why you got on that color, man? Like, shit, I knew I should have put this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you don't want that. So again, that's just, you know, the whole spill with indicators is I would dump those shits immediately. The indicators took most of my life. I'm just keeping it real, bro. Like that shit took most of my life because I had to learn each indicator. Right. Once you hear somebody say, okay, get this indicator, this shit gonna make you money. All right, you get that indicator. Now you got to really figure out, okay, what this line mean, what it means when it does this, what it means when it does that, all this shit. And then you got to go and play that out on the chart. So all that shit takes time. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the number one thing. I would have got rid of those shits immediately, and I would have got straight to market structure, bro. From the moment I got on market structure, everything just started to change. Everything started to change. It's just like somebody had a blindfold on me, and then when I started learning market structure, somebody took the blindfold off. That's basically, you know, what that was all about. So I'll start with market structure first, and I'll really get a good understanding of, again, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and those phases, right? So those phases were another part of the market structure that I didn't understand at one point. I'm like, okay, you know, because they call the pullback phase like 2 or 3 things. They call it a retracement, they call it a correction, they call it man, what's that? Shit, I forget the other name right now, but they had different names for it. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't really understand that it was just a pullback. You know, I didn't realize all of those things were a pullback. I thought they were all different things. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to learn a correction, and I'm trying to learn a retracement, and then figuring out, oh, this shit is all just a pullback. You get what I'm saying? So like, again, learning the phases of the market structure is what I would dive into heavily also. Then understanding my supply and demand. Supply and demand, well, you know, support and resistance for sure, you know, right after that market structure, because that's where support and resistance come in anyway. So you got your uptrend, right? And then as price is breaking, there is your resistance there, and then there is your support if price comes to respect it and go up. So just knowing that is also like going to tremendously, you know, change your trading, right? Your support and resistance, because there's a difference between support and resistance and supply and demand, and most people don't really understand that. So like right here is like well, let me put it more like this. Right here is your support. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. This is an area where price comes to, rejects and goes up, comes to, rejects and goes up. Very valid. Multiple touches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All we need is 2 to validate it. We got 4. So it's a very strong support area, right? But the thing is, when we took off, when we came from here and we started to go up, we had no what we call fair value gaps, right? So between these 3 candles right here, let me try to get this more where you can see it, right? So 1, 2, and 3, between those 3 candles, we got our fair value gap. Okay, yeah. And when you get this fair value gap, right, that shows imbalance in the market. So coming from this area and having imbalance that breaks above a particular high, in this case, we had this high right here, right? This high right here, right? And you can see again more imbalance just with the gap right here and here. So when price was right here and it pushed up, breaking this high, it broke it with this imbalance right here. So that made this area, our demand area, was right here. And look, and again, just as I'm speaking about it, look how when price pushed away, it came right back to this demand area and took off. You get what I'm saying? That's demand versus support, right? Support is where you're just going to have price respecting that area. Demand is where you're going to have price coming from that area with momentum, typically with a fair value gap that pushes so high, it breaks that previous high. Major difference between the two. This is what we look for this over here to have price come back into that demand area and then take off exactly what it did right here on Euro Pound. Exactly what it did. Created that fair value gap, which gave us demand because it had to be demand that created the gap. Right? That's just how that works. There's too much buying going on where the sellers can't even push price down. So it's happening so fast, price just gaps up, right? We push up, right? It's buying, right? So as this closes, there's more buying. So then you get the gap between the two candles. You have no selling whatsoever happening in that push up. So now as we come back, because people are taking their profits, right? And that's causing the selling order, we get right back to the same area that had all the demand, had all the push up, and then we just push up even further. Bro, when this got implemented into my shit, oh my God, just ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I was able to pay rent with that. I'm just kidding. You know, that's how it was. I was able to pay rent with that. So knowing the difference between support and resistance and supply and demand, game changer, right? But again, I'll start off with, you know, market structure. Then I'll go into support and resistance. And then I'll get in a good understanding of supply and demand, right? And after supply and demand, bro, okay, you need to understand the cycle, okay? There is a systematic way that the market moves, okay? And it's like this, right? You see it clear as day right in front of your face, but you never really understand that it's a cycle. Basically, this is what happens. Price breaks above a high. We're talking uptrend. So price was, you know, this was a high created, then price goes and breaks it, right? So the next, that's the first part, right? The first thing is the break, okay? Breaking a high. Then we go and make the new high. That's the second thing. So new high. The third thing is the retracement or the pullback or the correction, right? Where we get to what we call points of interest. The first point of interest is where we broke. So we're expecting price to come back to here. This was resistance, but now we're expecting it to be support because again, the candles are already above it. So it's already support. It just has to prove to you that it's support by rejecting this area and starting to rise. And when you see candles are closed that have respected this, you know that it's support. So now you can go ahead and take your buying opportunity. But this is just the third thing, the retracement. Okay. So retracement, all right? That fourth thing is going to be the bull showing up. So like, again, the break, what we broke, that's one point of interest. We can have a fair value gap somewhere here. And then obviously we can have our demand area, which caused price to break this high where there's so much buying. And again, that's what that basically looks like when you see, you know, candles just pushing up like that, a whole bunch of buying that broke that high. So when we're talking about getting back to these points of interest, right, it could be any one of these. We don't know which one, right? We usually use Fibonacci to try to help us determine where it's going to go. But, you know, it's one of these areas that it's going to get to before it starts to rise again. So again, coming from the top, the cycle, right? The whole cycle, right? That you really want to get to have a good understanding for is this, right? You break a high, break. Second part, you make the new high. Okay, got it. Third part is you retrace to one of these points of interest. It could be any one of them. So just know that you don't really know. You just got to let the price tell you, you know, what is, you know, which one of these is going to get to in respect, right? That's going to be your retracement. The last part, it'll be I'm putting SU for show up, meaning the bulls need to show up. So as we come down, right, we get to demand, but we need to see the bulls come in at that area because if price keeps dropping, well, we're no longer bullish because we're breaking lows. Now, that's what a downtrend does. A downtrend breaks lows. That's how we classify it as a downtrend anyway, because it keeps breaking lows. So if it broke that demand, it's no longer an uptrend. We're heading down now, right? So you need to see the bulls show up at these points of interest. And when they do, that's where you need to take your trade because you're getting in off the pullback because price fell to get to these points of interest. And that's where your higher low is created right here. So there's that higher low. Why is it a higher low? Because it's higher than that previous low. So when we're reading that structure, we got our low, our high, our higher low, our higher high, and there's your higher low. But it's all a part of this cycle, my boy. And when you understand this, it's game over. Because you know now past this, you can get into liquidity and all of that to get a better understanding of where price is going to sweep liquidity, right, and then go in your direction. But it's easy to understand that liquidity after you kind of get to this stage. You know what I mean? Like liquidity is like a cherry on top, if you will. You get what I'm saying? Because without knowing liquidity, you still can follow this and make money. But when you understand liquidity, you have an idea of like where you really want to make sure you put your stop loss behind, so that if it gets that liquidity, it don't get you got. That's what we call the gotcha bitch, right? And once that's where liquidity comes in. So that'll be technically the fifth thing. It's not really a part of the cycle, but it is a part of the cycle. It's just so LQ, right, for liquidity. But that's it, my boy. So again, market structure, right? I don't know why I wrote it like that. Market structure, right? Support and resistance, right? These are your meat and potatoes, bro. You can't live without these. I promise you. Market structure, support and resistance, supply and demand. Okay, you can kind of throw trend lines in the mix with support and resistance. Okay, because when you have your uptrend, right, you're just connecting the higher lows, and then when you have your downtrend, right, you're connecting the lower highs, right? So you can throw trend line in support and resistance, but then again, supply and demand, and then the cycle. So here, the cycle. Learn these 4 things, my boy, and then add liquidity at the end of it all, and you're a dangerous man. You're a brand new Randall. You won't even recognize yourself, bro.
All right, bet.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
How long you been trading for?
Since 2016.
2016.
So almost a decade now.
All right, man.
All right, here.
I'm for sure do some homework, man.
Absolutely. Now it's pushed up. The market is open, so we live now. Martez got a chance to test itself. So let's see what Euro Pound is actually getting ready to do real quick, just because we got to mark everything out. We need to get out of replay. All right, but basically we had that change right here, and we had price tap into that supply right there. So Martez, we probably are gonna get that drop now. I see a nice trend line, and what I was talking about, connecting all the higher lows, right, as we make this uptrend market structure, right? And here is a swing low right here, because price came down and then it went up, gave me my V shape, right? So that's a swing low. All right, and when we're looking to take advantage of this particular pair for a sell, we can throw in this rising channel, which is a bearish reversal pattern, right? So all we're looking for is price to just kind of break this low, right? And it's a go, because it broke out the channel, right? We don't sell it low, right? We don't want to sell it right here. We want to wait for it to come back a little bit, probably test this trend line, maybe even go a little deeper into supply, because we have equal highs. That's again liquidity. So you get an idea of how this all starts to play together, right? So liquidity sitting right there, because some people may have sold it from right there. So I can see price breaking, giving us our change from up to down. Then it goes low, but we don't sell it low, right? And plus there's a little bit of support or demand here. And then so it'll come back up, and this is where we want to sell it from, where it's high, right? So we end up selling it there after it sweeps liquidity. Now it has the money that it needs to fuel that bad boy all the way down and take out that swing low. So I'll have a position somewhere like this with my stop above that previous high, and I'll be aiming for this particular low. And this is a 1 to 5 risk to reward. You say you do 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Well, you'll be getting way more than that, getting in the mix, right? So here's a 1 to 5, 99 pips to make 447 pips. Basically, if you took out a standard lot, that's risking $900 to make 4 bands. All right, four bands, $470 to be exact, right? And that can happen. How quick can that happen? Just look left. So from here to up here, that took 169 days. All right. So again, it's not all the time, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get this in some quick fashion, but all I'm getting at is that it's going to be a great setup for you to take. And we don't need 447 pips, right? We can come right here, right, to your 1 to 2. All right. And that's 200 pips. That's 2 bands. You get what I'm saying? And like, how quick could we have gotten 2 bands? Let me see, from right here to right there. There you go. That's 182 took 28 days. But what time frame? So we're on the daily. So it's taking some time. But regardless, bro, a good setup is a good setup. And that's one of those things that you're going to learn, right? It's just to be patient, to wait for the good setups, and then pull the trigger. And then it's, it's all she wrote.
Okay, bet.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, man, so much, bro. I learned a lot.
You got it, man. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Martez, Ghost can get you, situated with, how to get, be a part of everything. You can actually, I'm gonna just give you this in the chat right now. It's my official website. All right. It's forexwithbain.com. All right. And the link for the Discord is in there. And again, bro, no pressure. Just whenever you got yourself situated and you can get in, come on, hop in. And I promise you, bro, 2026, you're gonna get to talk your shit. All right. You're gonna be like, tell your boss, hey, kiss my ass. I'm out this bitch. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all I ask is that you keep it on the low, right? Don't flex, don't stun on people, because you'll be a target real quick. And then, everybody gonna want something from you, bro. That's just, the ugly side of this. Once you start making the bread, nigga from, daycare, you go, man, you don't remember me, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be that type of party. So, just keep your head down, stay low key with it, run up a bag, and, take care of your family if you got that. You know what I mean? But just don't do this for the glitz and the glam, man. Just do it because it's truly a way out, especially with the way our economy is, bro. This shit is getting ugly. You know what I'm saying? And the younger generation, y'all really feeling it. We had, me and Ghost, and we had a chance to experience what being real social was, and being able to afford shit. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff. So we had a piece of that, but y'all ain't getting that. You know what I'm saying? These jobs ain't paying, all kind of shit, bro. You know what I mean? The economy's just really messed up. So this will be your cheap, your advantage, if you will. To all of that. So just try to stay low key with it and keep it serious. And I promise, bro, it's gonna be a movie. So yeah.
All right, man, I'm gonna check the website out, bro. Thank you so much, man.
You got it, man. And
appreciate you, man. I know you. I came through.
Anytime I had to hit my mic. I'm listening to y'all.
So yeah.
I got you.
Yep, and that's what my people do. You know what I mean? They make sure they get people in the mix so they know, you know what I'm saying, what time it is and what it could do for them. So, you know, definitely big shout out to them for you know, linking you up. But yeah, man,
I appreciate you too, man. 'Cause you really be breaking it down. Like I'm just listening to you go over this whole thing that fast, that quick with him, and I'm sitting here like, but the man really the truth, bro. Like you don't get enough credit for the shit that you say and do and teach, and people get to understand that at such an easy momentum and tone the way you just display it. Like the shit look like waving water the way you saying the shit and how it coming out, but I'm taking it like, God damn, like I don't really be on some real easy flow shit. You just got to understand what he's saying and then just ride away.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that moving the water. Yeah, I'm a water bender or whatever. Like, but I like that.
You know,
So
the avatar shit.
yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And yeah, man, you know, that's what, you know, all of that pain and hard work do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna get you someplace beautiful, bro. But you got to go through that shit. So just know, you know, you got support, you got a team, and if you tap in, it'll be the difference.
I bet for sure, man.
All right, but yeah, fellas, that'll do it. You know, let's get ready to make this Christmas money and enjoy football and all that. But yeah, I'm out of here.
Happy holidays, man.
Likewise. All right, y'all boys.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? Master Forex, like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward, hit replay.